Good evening. I've made this video for your homework, which is for section 6.7, page 101, number 1 through 21, odd, 22 through 24, all. I would like to apologize that this video is going up so late. My camera is not complying with me tonight, so hopefully you're seeing this before 9 o'clock. So let's get started. First off, let's talk about the steps to graphing linear inequalities of two variables. Step 1. Solve the inequality for y. This means it's going to be in point-slope form, which we'll need for step 2. When it is in point-slope form, we'll locate the m and the b, where m is slope and b is the y-intercept. Step 3. Plot the b value. That's going to be your y-intercept. Step 4. Use the slope, or m, to plot the other points. Remember, m is rise over run. Okay? Step 5. Decide if the line is solid or dashed. So you'll have to connect these points using a line, but you have to decide if it's solid or dashed. If it can be equal to, so if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you will draw a solid line. If it's only less than or greater than, then you'll use a dashed line. Step 6. Choose a test point from above the line or below the line to determine where to shade. I recommend the point 0, 0 as long as it is not on your line. So let's try the examples from the workbook. First, let's look at number 11. X minus y is greater than negative 4. Our instructions for this problem were to graph the inequality. Let's refer back to our steps for graphing. Step 1. Solve the inequality for y. Get y by itself. So let's do that. I see that there is an x term that does not have any y's with it, so it needs to go to this side. So let's do that. Currently it's being added on this side, so we will subtract the x from both sides. There. That leaves us with negative y is greater than negative x minus 4. Okay, but we don't need negative y by itself. We need positive y by itself. So here we can either divide both sides by negative 1 or multiply both sides by negative 1. Either way, we'll get a positive y. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. Okay? Negative 1 times negative y is a positive y. Negative 1, I will distribute it to each term. Negative 1 times negative x is going to be a positive x. Negative 1 times negative 4 will be a positive 4. Now we're working with inequalities, and I've just multiplied a negative number to both sides. That means we flip the inequality. Okay? So now we have y by itself. Let's look at step 2. Locate m and b. M is slope, b is y-intercept. So we have our inequality in point-slope form. Our m is here, so that is a 1. And our b is here. M is 1. B is 4. Let's look at our next step. Step 3. Plot the b value, or the y-intercept. Okay? B value, 4. So we go to our graph, we see that 4 is here, and we put a point. Alright, let's see the next step. Step 4. Use the slope, or m, to plot other points, keeping in mind that m is rise over run. So if our m is 1, that's really 1 over 1. So we will rise 1, run 1. So we rise 1 up to 5 over to 1, up to 6 over to 2, up to 7 over to 3, and then we'll follow the pattern down okay, and we've plotted our other points. Step 5. Decide if the line is solid or dashed. So if we have one of these, our line is solid. If we have one of these, our line is dashed. And we have a less than. And for less than, it is dashed. So we will draw a dashed line to connect these points. Just like that. Alright, what's our next step? Step 6. Choose a test point from above the line or below the line to determine where to shade. Point 0, 0 is easy, but we have to make sure it's not on the line. 0, 0 is here, and it's not on the line. So let's try it out. I'm going to plug in the point 0, 0 as a test point into this inequality. Okay, so 0 in for y, less than x is 0 plus 4. If we simplify this one step, we still have a 0 on the left. 0 plus 4 is 4. Okay, and now this is what's going to tell us where we shade. So we must decide, is 0 less than 4? Yes, it is. So that tells us we shade on the side of 0, 0, because that's where our test point was. Okay, and that is how you solve number 11. Now let's look at number 13. Number 13 also asks us to graph the inequality. So, starting with this inequality, we must follow the same 6 steps, starting with solving the inequality for y, or get y by itself. So, I see that y is here on the left side where we like it, but it's being multiplied by a 4. If I want to get y by itself and it's being multiplied by a 4, then I have to divide by a 4. And whatever I do to this left side, I have to do to the right side. So I divide both sides by 4. This is going to give us an equivalent inequality. So our 4's just canceled here. We did 4 divided by 4 to leave us with y. Now 6x divided by 4 looks like this, minus 2 over 4. Okay. Now I can simplify these fractions here, so I will do so. We've got y is less than or equal to 6 over 4 can also be written as 3 over 2, and negative 2 over 4 can also be written as negative 1 over 2. These are simplified fractions. So this is the inequality we will be graphing. Alright, let's go on to the next step. Locate m and b, and then we're going to be plotting the b. So m is here, mx plus b, so m is 3/2, and b is negative 1/2. Okay, so let's plot the b. Negative 1/2. Well, I know negative 1/2 is between negative 1 and 0. So I'll put there. Now our slope in step 4, that's our next step, is to use the slope to plot other points. So my rise is 3 and my run is 2. So when I rise, it can be complicated because there's not any lines that you're going off of, but you have to be consistent that you go from this middle to this middle, that's 1, and then this halfway mark, that's 2, and then this is 3. Okay, so we rose 3, now we have to run 2, so 1 and 2. There. So we went up 1, up 2, up 3. That was our rise. Now we run 1, 2. Okay, if we want to get another point so that we could draw further down the graph, we would, instead of going up 3, right 2, we go down 3, left 2. So we go down 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2. Okay, next step. We did the b-value, we did the slope. Now we have to decide if the line is solid or dashed. Solid will look like this, or dashed looks like this. And we have less than or equal to, that's going to be solid, right there. So we'll just fill it in like this. Alright, last step. Step 6. Choose a test point from above the line or below the line to determine where to shade. Remember, if 0, 0 is available, I recommend you use it. And for us, it is available. It's right here. It's just on this side of the line. So let's try 0, 0 into this inequality. We're going to be trying 0, 0. That's an x comma y. Don't forget that. So the x is 0 and the y is 0. So for here we put 0 less than or equal to 3 halves times 0 minus 1/2. Whoa, kind of crossed the line. Okay, so this can be simplified as 0 is less than or equal to 3 halves times 0, that is 0, minus 1/2. We can simplify this one more step. The left side stays as 0. Keep the sign. 0 minus 1/2 is just a negative 1/2. Okay, so now we ask ourselves, is this true? Is 0 less than negative 1/2? Think about a number line. Here's 0. Here's negative 1. Here's positive 1. Negative 1/2 is here. Is 0 less than negative 1/2? No, it's not. So where we have the point 0, 0, since we tested that point and it came out to something that's not true, we shade the other side of the line, the side that does not have the point 0, 0. And that's how you do number 13.